Hey Pisces, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Pisces, we have the poet, the orphan, the shapeshifter, the siren, the empty room, the father, the vessel, the storm, and the mountain. Pisces, you can be on either side of the story. Take what resonates, leave the rest. This will not resonate for everyone. I feel like there is an idea here of playing victim. It's not to say that you've never experienced anything bad in your life that doesn't merit feeling an emotion or experiencing a trigger. It's what you do with that emotion or that trigger that really counts. And I feel like there's an idea of like playing victim, I like almost to the point of like an addiction, or dealing with people who are addicted to the idea that they are always the victim and having to really get away from it. You can be on either side of the story. But I feel like and the father and the storm and the vessel, again, it's like this idea of, like falling off this pedestal and like, can you redeem this issue? And there being a lot of confusion around it. But I almost feel like this idea of you like perpetuating the confusion because you didn't want to have to deal with it. You didn't want to have to acknowledge the fact that like when you play victim, when you cry, it's like the boy who cried wolf. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't get you very far, and like people will recognize a pattern like that real quick, and then what? Right? But I think you're wanting to get that energy out of your life, whether it's somebody that you're dealing with or like your own habit. I think that it's something that you're really wanting to rid yourself of. You've got the shapeshifter and the empty room and the poet, and I feel like you're like, okay, pulling back from a situation because, again, it's just this idea of like the boy who cried wolf. Like you can't be around people like that, or, like people can't, if you're like that, people can't be around you. You know what I mean? Because that's basically what amounts to what would be currently referred to as an emotional, like an energy vampire. It's not a good energy. It's not an energy that you want in your life either way, whatever side of the story. And I think wanting to really uncover your value so that you are no longer accepting that energy, or uncover your value so that you are no longer engaging in that energy. Oh, Pisces. Gracious. Okay. The moon, the Three of Wands, and the Two of Cups. I feel like this idea of attempting to heal a situation by either taking a trip to see someone or going on a trip with someone. But I get the feeling that this person doesn't know. And Pisces, I just would like to put forth this piece of advice. If you are dealing with somebody who is upset with you because you like when you communicate in a like I'm gonna cry victim here. Like you can't just show up at somebody's door and expect like at least communicate your intentions. Do your very best. Try. And if you have somebody who's in that other energy and they're trying to like surprise you, like you're allowed to say no if you feel like it's not safe, if you feel like it's not a good idea. This is not one of those, like, fine, I'll do it anyway moments. I feel like this is one of those points in time where you can recognize that behavior, recognize a pattern, and put a stop to it. Right? You want to prove your growth. Be careful what you ask for. you know? The shadow dance, the Eight of Wands, and the Sun. Well, I mean, that would be this idea of really like longing for, like this is the idea of like envy in this deck, like a temptation and envy. And I feel like there's this idea of motivation. And listen, all motivation is good motivation. It may not be a good motivation to hang on to for a very long time, but if it gets you going, then okay. You know what I mean? But I feel like there's this idea of missing out on something, like missing out on your happiness, missing out on your opportunities, and feeling like you want to follow your intuition to try and grab hold of something that you want. Okay, Pisces. What else can we get for y'all? The Temperance, Four of Swords, and Five of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to say something along the lines of things being thrown out of balance. I don't know why. I just have this like bad feeling. And I don't know, Pisces, because you guys are romantics, and like I feel like sometimes like people don't have to prove themselves to you. They can just like say something to you and you're like immediately on board with it, right? Because you're so fluid. And like it's a gift a lot of times, but also sometimes it serves as like this like detriment, because you lose yourself to things that throw you out of balance, right? And that's been in your reads for a while now, is this idea of like, who am I and how do I know who to align myself with? And like all these questions that you've been asking yourself. And I feel like you've either been working really hard to shut this energy down out of your life, and somebody is coming to you and they're wanting to like express this romantic idea to you. And I feel like there's a part of you that feels really swept up in it, but I feel like there's like another part of you that like has this question of like sincerity, like actual sincerity, right? Like it might sound good, but like, is it going to be something that leaves me feeling out of the cold and throws me out of balance entirely? Because because in another one of your reads, it was this idea of like, could you blame me? You know what I mean? And it's like, if there's something that you're like you can justify, again, like, is it something that's being justified? And if it's something that's being justified, how is it being justified? Just be smart. That's all I'm saying. Just be smart, The shaman. Well, I mean, the shaman is the idea of letting something go. And I feel like what you're wanting to let go of is like the way that you show up. So maybe that means letting go of a behavior or a pattern, or this person who's coming to you and saying like, I want to show up differently. I want to deal with this behavior or this pattern. and, you know, like obviously do whatever you want. I know that you will. You know what I mean? I think I would just say, like, take a step and think about the lessons that you've learned, you know, like the flags that you've become aware of, and don't sell yourself short, right? Okay, Pisces. Well, I kind of hope this doesn't resonate with you guys, but if it does, stay strong. You have changed, you've grown, you can continue to change, and you can continue to grow, right? Baby steps, baby steps. And you don't build that strength until you overcome those baby step challenges, right? Okay, Pisces, I hope this resonates with y'all, I guess. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does, and I will see you again soon. Bye.